Hi, I'm Louis Ortiz on behalf of Expert Village. We're going to do a Julienne cut on a zucchini, and a Julienne is 1/8 of an inch by 2.5 inches. So what I'm going to do first on this zucchini is I'm going to take off the top here, and this would be the root end, the base, if you can see it that way in the ground. And 2.5 inches approximately for a Julienne. We're going to go about there. Okay, we'll put these off to the side. And what you want to do is just square this off. It's going to facilitate the cutting, but it's also going to make the Juliennes look a lot nicer. So I'm going to square this off this way. And if you want to, you can peel this with a peeler if you'd like. If you're concerned about waste, there's really not a whole lot there that's going to make much of a difference, but if you're so inclined, you can do that. So I'm going to go ahead and shave off some sections here. And again, I'm using my knuckles as a guide for the knife. Okay, so that'll give us enough to get started with. So now we have a nice even piece to cut off of, and nice even pieces to cut our Juliennes. So we're going to take the knife this way. Again, I'm using my knuckles and a little bit of the fingertip in such a way that I can guide the knife. And those stack up evenly along the edge of the knife usually. Stick to it a little bit. And those are some Juliennes there. And then same song, second verse on the rest of this guy. Now, from this cut, we can leave them this direction, or leave them in this cut if we want, and just use those for Juliennes for a recipe. Or we can dice these into smaller dices even, if the recipe calls for a real dainty, attractive dice. We just line these up even, and I'm really just using the tip of the knife here. And then we can get a fine dice out of these guys, and a brunoise, which is an even smaller cut, which looks almost like confetti. So depending on the dish that you're cooking, the recipe, what it calls for, this will give you some options. And just so long as you know that you're going to take the skin off and square this vegetable from the very beginning the same way every time, it's just a matter of what cuts that you're after afterwards, as far as the Julienne or the fine dice, or you can even do a smaller medium dice, depending on the cuts that you've made here and the size of the Julienne.